What is going on, Alex? Welcome to the stream, brother. Let me get this shared out real quick. Sentinel, what is going on, brother? Welcome to the stream. There we go. Things are good to go. Angel, what's going on, brother? Welcome to the stream. You guys wait till you see what I just did. So we're gonna do a few things. I don't know how you guys have seen one. How did you like the short display of the wrestling belt? As far as the shorts go, for those that got to see it. I like it. It's like a 15-second, kind of gives us a review of the things. What's going on, JP? Welcome to the stream, brother. So, I think we're going to have more of that. We're going to have more unique commentary shorts coming up. We're back to doing 2 shorts a day. I'm back into I'm going to skip the one that was at 11. We're going to do the 8:30 or the 9:30 Eastern time slot. It's 8:30 for me, Central Time, right? But 9:30 time slot, because I think that's when people expect to see it. And then we're also going to do the 5 o'clock Eastern time. So 9:30, 5 o'clock Eastern, we're going to go back to 2 shorts. But one's always going to be a 15-second short, either unique commentary or sometimes both of them will. But we're going to go back to doing that. I tried an experiment, did not work the way I thought it would work. So we're just going to go back. Not a big deal. Now that digital's here. So last night I did a thing. We know digital, right? The gold guy here on the screen. Tell me what you think of this. That's also digital. So we've already had episode 1. And I think as soon as today, we're going to start seeing the normal schedule start. My voice is back, I think, so we'll start seeing. But let's look at these 2 guys real quick. I don't think we've got to really see Brian Skelton's entrance or the new digital.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall, making his way to the ring from Huntsville, Alabama, weighing in at 274 pounds, the unrelenting Brian Scorpion.
So yeah, Brian Skelton making his way to the ring. Brian Skelton is a real person. Lives here in Huntsville, Alabama. Me and him worked together for a long time. Now we work for competitors. Still really good friends. When we went on the cruise, I went with Brian. A huge Bama fan. Name of his gaming channel was Bama Boy Gaming as well. That's on Facebook. So pretty cool. Pretty cool. And here's the new digital.
And his opponent from Authority Megacorp HQ, weighing in at 382 pounds, Dr. Dog.
Now we still have the other version, but I'm kind of really liking this version. Digital had said something, had nothing to do with anything. It gave me the idea to do this. I mean, I like the gold. I liked it even when we were kind of doing the silver version. Oh, I love the pin. I didn't realize he was pinning him. Digital needs to win every match like that. Hey, what's going on? John, welcome to the stream, brother. Digital has one piece of skin like really showing, and that's right under the gloves in his hands. Just to let you know that, hey, he's got a little human piece in there still. Oh, that's really the first time we've seen somebody go into the ring and pull him out. So I feel bad for a couple of the shorts because both times I've released them, I was testing something out and they both didn't do well. Both times. So I'm probably going to have to see a third one from them guys, and I do it at the regular time. Today, though, Phoenix at 8:30 or 9:30 Eastern, the Phoenix short is going to release. And I was shocked it didn't do well. It's one of our more interesting characters. Like, you look at, like, Digital. You look at Mimi, GC Rock, Night Violator. Like, we have some very, very unique characters. All of them are unique, right? But we have some that are on another uniqueness level. Wait, what is he going to do? Oh, this is the first time we have seen this animation. Oh, that is perfect. How do you get up from that? He got up way too quick from that. Yeah, so when I did it yesterday, so the problem with our first look, and it's not an issue with the colors that we have, but you could never change the colors because there's part of that one mask that's always gold. You can't change that. So then we're really constrained to like gold and silver or matte black or something. Or with this mask, I didn't like this mask necessarily because you can't tell right now, but it looks like Batman's mask. But when you have the head piece over the top of it, you don't see that. And I made the colors very similar. The 3 different greens in the mask, so it doesn't look like, again, like Batman. It looks like something different. And you had said something about, oh, you like the looks of the Brutus and Walter masks. I'm like, yeah, you can combine masks and things. And I was like, wait a minute. Let me go back and revisit Digital's mask. Because this is very... We still have the other look for now. But this guy, this version, I can see wearing the world title, you know what I mean?
Dr. Dog.
Oh, this is the other thing. All of the wrestlers now have unique victory motions, unique tag victory motions, unique tag finishers. So, yeah. Yeah, no, we did a lot of stuff when it came to that over these last 2 days. I mean, hours and hours and hours. It's funny. It's almost like every year you learn a new way to do something, like a new version of this or a new version of that. Now, we've done a bunch of stuff, right? So the next thing I kind of wanted to do this morning is just kind of review. What are we doing here? It's kind of review our championship belts. Now, we've got a couple in here that are reimagined. But like going through, getting a look at like the brand new redesigned, reimagined Intercontinental Championship belt. Like it's pretty cool if you go through because it's the Intercontinental Championship title, you know, you can see that it's got all the stuff on the nameplates in here for Europe. Pretty cool getting to look at a little bit more detail in all the belts. And what's funny about this one, let's look at this real quick. This is the only... We might have to fix this. It's funny trying to get the right bronzen look. I bet you that's part of it. Hold on. Oh my God, for the first time ever, we figured it out. Look at that. Only took us 4 years. Only took us 4 years to figure out how to match the gold bronze look of the default system. Never been able to quite get it right. Now I know why. But yeah, the women's intercontinental title, same thing. Like they both look very similar to each other, but Love the depth of that belt. So here's the problem with doing a title. You can't do it in universe mode. I could do it outside. I could make a video outside universe mode and do it, but you can't do it inside universe mode. I can assign the winner inside universe mode, but like all the stats you would gain, like let's say the winner of the tournament then should have, I mean, I can pretend do a tournament. And a battle royal for a battle royale for the number one contendership too. That's a really good idea. Scale, yeah. Well, I always kind of have the sniffles, right? But scale 1 to 10, I'm probably like an 8 right now. So I mean, that's 8, 7's probably normal for me. I'm actually feeling pretty good. So hopefully, hopefully that stays. So here's an interesting thing. In one of our updates, it did something to our logos when we look at the SmackDown and the Raw logos. So it turned our logos white. You can't do this. I don't even think you can do this. But I like it, so that's why I never fixed it. So we have the Raw World title. This is not hands down, but this is my favorite title belt. Look at it's got to do with the world behind it. It really adds that depth where it looks like that gold's coming out at you. So this is what our SmackDown, Raw, and Stampede World Championships look like. The men's is a darker color, darker red on Raw. Love it. I almost think we should do something. This is why I like reviewing this. So if you guys see something too where you're like, wait, what are we doing? I forgot what we were doing. So if you guys see something, oh, this is quite convenient. I want to make, just to make it stand out a little bit more, use that. Look at two things here. So I don't like that. Yeah, I like that better. So yeah, see, it's just the one subtle change, but now the champion actually matches the belt. But yeah, hands down, this is my favorite belt design. That's why we brought it to all the world title belts. You know, the interesting thing about all of our title belts, it's all stuff you can create in the game. Yeah, I appreciate that. I didn't start out making great titles. It took a while, and I watched a lot of people. But here's the thing that, like for most of the titles, this title right here, the women's Raw Tag Team Champions, again it bleached the Raw, which I love. It's a happy accident. But this is by far our over 100 downloads on this one title belt alone in community creations. So yeah, love it. But all of our belts you could make. And so I watched a bunch of different belts and got a bunch of different ideas. I Some of the belts you have to do it with. Some of the belts you have to like create on a computer, download the image and then upload. Like I get it. But like all the best, every time they're like, "Oh, this is the most best title belt." When they're doing those, when creators do great community creation title belts, it's always those belts. I'm like, "Get out of here." I'm not saying that doesn't take talent, it takes a different kind of talent, but I couldn't get in the game and make that. Like none of those parts are in the game. Every belt that we've got, the parts are in the game. See, it's like this belt. It's the same thing, except for whatever reason, the game bleached the SmackDown logo, which, again, happy accident. I love it. But this is the women's version of that same belt. It's just this belt looks like it's got so much depth to it. I really love these belts. But again, hashtag totes and community creations. You can download every single belt that I show you. There's that one belt that we have that's not downloaded. Unlike some of our wrestlers you can't. I can't download all of them because I downloaded for the face scan, and you can't re-upload the wrestler even though they don't look anything like what the original belts look like. You can see too with all of our. This is the SmackDown Men's Championship, but all of our title belts, men, women, for Raw, SmackDown, and they look similar, very similar, right? The base of them, but the colors are different. And the colors go to the brand. So, we might end up making another title. I downloaded another image. That's how it happens. Says the brand new, the third brand that we have in our universe mode. We have the Raw and SmackDown brands, of course, but we have this brand as well, the Stampede brand, which is our old TSW brand. I had this amazing idea too. See, this one I like having the silver on there because it's yellow, right? So it stands out, makes it stand out a little bit different. This is the one different title belt, which we may. Hold on, there's one thing we got to change, though. There we go. So this is a different belt from our normal. It's close, right? But we've actually brought things off, some of the silver pieces off of the title belt. So if you'd see the plate, and then we brought the silver off to kind of round it out a little bit different. It's a unique belt. We might, don't know how long we'll use it, but we're using it for now. Yeah, you guys will be sorting some things out in the ring. I am sure of that. You guys are on the same brand. JP could end up being the rookie of the year. In creating this one hardcore title, it threw off everything else as far as from here down. Oh no, look, the US belts are still fine. Oh, it's because I threw this belt in. TV belts are off though. So this is the next closest belt to being my favorite. I love the world titles, but this light heavyweight championship with the bull on it, like the bull just adds a bunch of depth to it too. Anything that really adds depth to these belts, I love. And then the other technique of taking the winged eagle and then putting the uh, diamonds around the outside of the wing part. Yeah, love that belt. That is nice. I got my coffee too. That new hardcore belt's pretty solid though. I'm excited. Hopefully we can get one of them in today. This is our Triple Crown TV title. I'm always on the lookout to improve this one title belt. I do like the way this came out this year though. So yeah, sometimes this is one of the techniques I use. You can see the star that's in the back. I like the splash of blue. I like the splashes of red, but I wanted more texture to it. So I took that star in the back and then I put something over the top of it. So this piece looks like it's just a part of the belt. And then that plate adds the rest of the texture. So far this is probably my favorite TV title that we've created. And then usually with the TV title, we can't make it look as good when we go. But here's the women's version of the television title. And in this one case, by just adding, I used to want to make sure that the women's thing was always so big, but taking my own advice, sometimes subtlety is the best thing. So you have World Television Women's TV Champion. It wasn't an accident. Like it, I wanted to make sure that we had some stuff. I didn't want the red or the blues too prevalent inside the belt, but I did want a little bit of the color, right? So yeah, Triple Crown Women's World Television Champion, and it's our only Triple Crown Championship for the women right now. We are missing Rowdy. Let's see. Today is when? Yeah, probably. I think are the days. So well, this is the one title belt right now that we don't have in our universe mode that we made. World Tag Team Championship belt. One of my favorite belts because of those axes, and I have a feeling that it will be soon. It may be the belt that replaces all of the other belts. I don't know. The only thing I would change, when you're looking at title creations, there's other things that could be done, right? But I really like what they've done. The only thing I would change is having the ability. Do you see we have the nameplate right there? Having the ability to put on, remove, or put, if it's on there, put something on the nameplate. Right now, notice everything goes behind it. That's on the belt, but there should be a way to actually write on the nameplate. Speaking of which, yeah, see, like, so we have that belt, right? Or we have this belt. This is the belt that is the current universal title. So this is our current universal championship. So, it's almost like to me, it would be between those two belts. Which one is going to be? Right now, we are going to use that one. That's already in the game, and that's the way it's going. Maybe in not even in season 4, maybe in like in a future season. What would happen if maybe we go from 3 brands to 2 brands? Like we have some brand consolidation. We might need another set of title belts to like take the universal titles, right? Maybe they become undisputed titles. I don't know. We'll see. Now, if we had other title belts that they're very similar, our US title belts, the straps are so completely different from this is our men's version. And if you look very closely, you can see the outline of the plate, but you can also see that the outline goes off. Now, you can kind of make out the WCW part of that logo at the top, but not from here you can. That's kind of hard to see. And when they walk down to the ring with these belts, you can't see it. So, but the United States version of the belt, you almost have to get back like to enjoy the belt in its full glory. But coming back again close up, it's one of the techniques that we learned to take the image off and extend it out onto the belt. So really like the US title belt for the men. So in that same vein, same vein. So in that same vein, we have the United States Championship for the women now. Again, less is more. We added the women at the bottom. We extended the women out just so it would match the curve of where it says champion, but we completely changed the strap. So if you go back, it's the same strap, but it's hard to tell because we took a different approach on the strap with the women's belt. but I think still very cool title belt. It's exciting. So then here's a belt that most people recognize, but reimagined. If you get up really close on it, I added silver. So there's a silver overlay to the World Heavyweight Wrestling Champion. We made the crown silver. We darkened up the world. So this is Goldie, right? But we took Goldie and added some silver highlights to it. So it's another just like really sharp belt. It's one of my top three favorite belts. But this is our universal world title belt, the top, the creme de la creme in the men's division. And then on the flip side of that, right, we have the women's version. So on most of the women's belt, I've been saying less is more, except look at this. We made a huge women, but see, I think it matches as it goes across. So you still have the silver overlays. Instead of having the black world, now we have like a light blue world, and then we have the women, but the women done in white because of the white strap back behind it. But we still have the silver parts to it like we do the men's title. So I think it's a pretty neat version to have a universal title, but the women's universal title, and have the women's in this one stand out a lot more. Yeah, you guys are quick. That was good. That is good. Exactly why we have mods in the chat. Lots of them. So don't get me wrong, we're probably going to have to add more as we grow. So, very important part of our streams. So then you have this belt. Like this belt, I was watching I was watching a story about how flimsy the $1 million title was, and I was like, man, if you're going to remake that title today, what would you do? And then this belt, once we made it, you can see $1 million championship down below. You have all the green emeralds. You have, you know, the $1 million man sign, but we added the stars up and at the top. I was going to add them at the bottom, but there's really not enough space to do that, so came up with the $1 million championship. It's kind of like the universal title, but in the or the intercontinental title, but in the universal world. But a really nice belt. But that brings us to the women's. So Witcher actually gave us the idea. I don't know, probably 2 seasons ago. She said you should make a Divas Championship, and I'm like, nope, not doing it. Anyway, so I made a Divas Championship. The Universal Divas Championship, which is like the Intercontinental title to the world title, right? This is in the Universal world, the Divas belt to the Women's World Universal World title. But look, there is, again, less is more. We have the totes sign right up at top, right in between the Divas. It's just these subtle things, right? But the championship, adding the depth with the stars and the big stars and the 5-star piece at the bottom, all that stuff adds texture to the plate. So, which I think is what makes the best championships. Yeah, no, I'm actually super pumped when bots show up, right? I don't like bots, but just makes you think. You're like, oh, we're crushing it right now. I don't know if like you'd have to go back and replay the stream because once it does it, it does it. So we're talking before how the raw symbol was bleached. Well, right before we came in, it wasn't. If you look back in the stream right before I click on it, the raw logo right there was red. Now it's white. Something happened in update. It's like 1.0678, something like that. I know we're on 9 right now, but it was in the last update that bleached out some of the logos for the arenas. Took the red color away from Raw, the blue color away from SmackDown. But this is the women's world title, the normal color red. And then if you look at the outline of it, instead of it being gold or being silver, it's actually black. So it really like pops, really stands out. But again, you can download all of these hashtag totes in the community creations. So I think, yeah. Now look, now it's not. Okay, look at the men. Look at the men. We'll do this one more time. Look at the men's logo in the middle. See how the Raw is red right now? When I go in and I look at this, it's going to turn white. Look at that. So the men's Raw championship looks like the women's, right? Without it saying women's on it. But yeah, that's kind of interesting. Really cool title belts though. I'll show you one more. Then I think we're gonna make a title belt. I don't even know what we're gonna make it about. Okay, so now look, they're all bleached. So bleached, because that one's bleached too. If you look at the SmackDown, the little SmackDown logo, notice how that one's all just black and white. This one's got the blue in where like the SmackDown, the exclamation point is blue. The D down, the down part of it's all blue. So watch this now. We go and we look at it. Look, bleached. It's crazy. But I could go in and fix it, but I don't want to fix it almost. Like I almost want to just leave it that way because it's unique. Yeah, the SmackDown Men's World Title. Same thing. This is a men's title belt, but look, just to make it a little bit different, it's got the blue champion, but we took it and we left it outlined in black instead of being outlined in gold or being outlined in silver. With the blue, it made it just pop a little bit more. And of course, the tote sign in the middle of the eagle. Looks like he's got wings coming out of his pirate hat. R. To be pirates on them there belts. Yeah, matey. Yeah, I wish that was even possible. I've said that for a long time. Like, I mean, don't get me wrong. You make a triple threat belt, but there's no mixed gender tag titles. I wish we would have did that long times ago. Look at this. I'm not going to go into this one, but look at the SmackDown title on this one. Actually, we are going to go into this one. There is something I can't believe. Never noticed it before. This is the women's title, but nowhere on there does it say women's. So let's fix that. Maybe there's a reason. Don't like that. Don't like that. See, that's I think why it ended up black on these. So let me just look at the difference now. Yeah, see, I like it. I like the difference. Like, look, that one in the Raw goes all the way across. This one does not. So it's the differences in some of these. This one says it at the bottom. That says women's at the top. Top. Yeah. This is the new. I did not make this. I downloaded this one. This is why you don't. Now, what's interesting about this almost looks like you could make this out of parts. All they did was take Goldie. Yeah, they took Goldie. You can see there's a line. So they took the gold belt and extended it out. They took the bull. I know this is hard to see, but they took the bull right at the top, hid the eyes to change the texture. They took the world. You could take the circle. You could take, I think you can even take, and yeah, they took this and they just outlined the WWE in black. If that is true, yeah, it's true. They created, I love it now. Now I love the belt. Whoever made this, hats off to you. And there may be a time where that's the brand new, though, WWE World title. That'll be now on Raw since Roman Reigns got drafted to SmackDown. Speaking of that, like, how stupid is the draft in wrestling? When they did it the first time, I got it, but if they would do it the way I would want to do it, we might implement this. There should be 3 or 4 rounds where you get one pick. One. If you pick a tag team, it would count as 2. But that would be 8 wrestlers roughly a year get moved up. You know what I mean? Or they could pass on draft picks if there's nobody to move up. In the storylines, they would have contracts. So if you signed a guy to just like in football, you sign this guy to a 2-year, this guy to a 5-year, that one to a 1-year. When their contracts are up, They don't have to be really up, but when they're up, they all come up at the same time, like let's say February. Then there's a free agency period between the two brands where they can sign free agents. They can trade draft picks. They could trade wrestlers, but that's the only way you get off the brand. You don't just say, "Oh, everybody's in the draft again." It's not the way to do it. Like it doesn't make any sense. It's dumb. If you're trying to like chase against sports, like you're trying to match, they did it right around the NFL draft, so not a shocker, right? But you're trying to match the NFL draft. That is not how they do it. They don't just say, "Oh, okay, oh, all 32 NFL teams, all your players are in the draft again. Redraft your teams." So doing it in wrestling is dumb. It's dumb. It's the dumbest thing I've seen. I'm like, what are you doing? What are you doing, guy? What's going on, Rowdy? Welcome to the stream, brother. Well, and that's what I'm hoping, honestly. I think as we grow, like we talked about like channel sponsorships, right? I wouldn't take every sponsorship, but there is one sponsorship for sure I would be a part of because it matches what we do on this channel. If they wanted to be a part of it and get their name out there too, as we grow, I'm going to give away belts, right? I would partner with like um, maybe a Fandu type of company that builds good belts. You know what I mean? But have that partnership there where, maybe we're buying the belts at 50% off as part of our sponsorship, and then we plug them into the thing. But my point with them would be, let's not make that belt right there for real. Like not real, like I don't need the gold and the diamonds, right? But make it look that way. Give it that depth. Give it that like 4 millimeter, 6 millimeter depth. Make it heavy. Vandu is the one that makes. I might be saying it wrong, but they make the best big gold belt. So, making those belts, make this European title belt, and maybe they couldn't do it because of copyrights, but I think this one's different enough, and we can make it different enough to where it wouldn't be necessarily the pieces and the parts, but it would look similar in a similar fashion. Man, so at 4:29 this morning, I came up with the idea on what our wrestling uh, league, like what we should really be called, like our universe. At 5:01, I forgot what it was. It was good too. It was good. So the next thing I wanted to do is test tag teams. But in order to test the tag teams, it has to be done inside universe mode. So we are going to test tag teams. So this is the neat thing. Look, inside universe mode, look how they're not everybody's highlighted because it's only the people on that show that are highlighted. Oh, this would be interesting. And you guys can't say make this guy or that guy a tag team because that's not the tag teams are the tag teams. For this one, no. There we go. Wait till you see some of this stuff though that we just, like these guys have to you have to actually be in a tag team inside universe mode for this to work. Customize match. Oh, that's good. Okay, Sub-Zero and Glacier are a tag team. And so is... Oh, Paul the Thing and Pony are a tag team. So we just want to see some different... Some different things here real quick. I mean, we did about 7, 8, 9 hours of work on this. But before we do it in universe mode, I've caught a bunch of things. This is a quick way to see if you're in a tag team. Nope. Nope. No. But hold on. There is Gruding in a tag team. Nope. Grady is. Okay. I don't think. I don't think. Tinsel goes back and forth on this. He's like, I want to be a loner. Give me a faction. Give me some tag team partners. Let's see. Tekrin is in a faction. Not in a tag. Oh, here we go. Ozzy is not. Were they in the first one? Not. Already in one. So the only other one. Okay, so let's just double check this one. It's the first one. That's fine. So I think that's the only tag teams we have. So let's just look at these matches. I'm going to show you guys something else since we brought that up. There is a mixed gender match. It's just you don't have title belts for it. The 2-on-2 mixed gender tag. So we'll do Angel. Then well, it has to be, we'll do Sentinel and Rebecca. Oh, okay, hold on. Rebecca and then Sentinel. This part of. That's interesting. I don't know. We'll have to see how that all works out. We'll have to see what paths things start taking. So let's see this first one. All the victory motions. Now the title motions can't all be the same. There's only like a list like this big, right? But all the victory motions are pretty much different. I'm super excited to see of all the brands. I don't know now. Now we shook it up a lot, so it'll be interesting to see how everybody does this year. Like I'm looking forward to like can Sentinel or can Digital or Angel, can they raise up to the world title contention level, win a world title even? Possible.
The following contest
This is one of the
is a
few
tag
things
team
I'm
match
not
set
quite
for
sold
one
on,
fall, and is for the Stampede Women's Tag Team Championship. On the way to the ring, Legacy.
I can't find a good like nonchalant one, so I'm not sold. This is the one entrance I'm not sold on. We'll have to see. We'll have to see what happens. Yeah, they do need advanced tag entrances for sure. That would be very helpful.
And their opponents, the Fallen.
I like in the Fallen, one of them is always business, and the other one's always like, whatevs. Like, whatevs, who cares? We'll get in, we'll whoop some tail. One of them's like, come on, let's fight. The other one's like, hey. Interesting dynamic. Something we're going to really, though, try to do a lot more of this year is if you're in a tag team, that's what you're in. Really more focused on tag teams. Even if you wrestle in a singles match, maybe a singles match against another tag team, that's the division. Then can you break out of the division? With very, there will be some, but with very little singles competitors coming together to fight for tag titles. You know what I mean? Now this is the thing that we want to watch for. How the tag teams interact with each other. Because there's double team moves. There is double team moves in the corner. There's finishing moves, so like, now that these tag teams have been assigned finishing moves, to win a match, are they going to try, and I'll know what it looks like when I see it, I don't know everybody's finishing move, but I do know the type of move it is, and I made sure not to give people normal, like, double team moves that are finishing moves. Gotta fix that announcer table in the ring. I gotta spread it back out. I've said it before. I fixed a bunch of stuff. I'm gonna fix that. The other thing we want to watch for is we watch some of these matches. Are the wrestlers, do the movesets look similar? None of them should. Still funny. One of the patches was supposed to fix that, where they whip them into the rope and grab them. It's not bad to see it sometimes where their timing is off, but it seems like it's almost like a 60% of the time it's off, and 40% of the time, or 70-30 even. The other thing we want to look at, too, with some of these wrestlers, some of them we know should be bigger, but especially in the women's division, there shouldn't be so much parity in the women's division until Crimson comes out. Now here we go. Are they going to go for a double team move? Yes. Perfect. Cool. That's a good one. So it's not new, but when 2K22 first released the game, they were doing it. And then they put out an update that broke it. So then they weren't doing it hardly at all. Like, it was rare. Like, you would see it once every 10 shows. Like once every about 30 wrestling matches. There are two female wrestlers that wrestle with heels. Miss Frost and I believe Miss Scorpion, if I did it right. Can't remember. No, she doesn't have heels on. Ooh, that would be an alley. So guys, if you're just joining us, of course, this isn't how we normally do things. I turn off the commentators. That's why you don't hear commentators. But normally I'm commentating. Right now we're doing the final. This is the final thing. I've tested everything else. Almost. If we have time, we'll test it. We'll test it. We'll test it in a singles match. But right now we're doing the final testing pieces. There'll be about 4, 5, 6. I was going to say that's her finishing move. If you take a heel, super kick heel, kick to the face, that'll do it. So brand new. All these should be different. We should not see the same.
Here are your winners. And the new Stampede Women's Tag Team Champions.
They're not the new champions. So we had to test the championship. You guys haven't seen that victory motion before because that's a new one. The championship victory motion. Usually we saw the same ones over and over and over again, right? I'm very excited about this, to see these two. So we're going to test 3-man entrances and their 2-man entrance. The Walters family. Yeah, I really thought the Fallen was going to win, but it's what proves things. Out of nowhere, some wrestlers can win. The way we have all the moves set up, every single one of these wrestlers out of nowhere can win. Some of them more than others, right? But these are all actual tag teams in our universe mode. Well, they're all the actual tag teams on our Wednesday night Stampede. Stampede actually has the most tag teams in it. Look, she's got clothes a different color. Remember the Fiend with Brute and Walter? Now you have Brutus Walters and Wade Walters and Nikita Walters. And they've got their ambulance on, so what does that mean?
The following contest is scheduled for one fall. On the way to the ring at a combined weight of 772 pounds, the Disciples of the Apocalypse.
So Night Violator, now the largest guy in our wrestling universe. And these are number 2 and 3, and they're tag teams, so that's interesting. This is how I always pictured the Brute and Walter characters. And we may see him again, who knows? JD4 may come around, he may not come around. Hopefully he does. I like Brute and Walter. But how do these two guys tie in? It is going to be a storyline we're going to have to keep an eye on in season 4. But they do tie in. It's funny, if you go all the way back and you watch season 1, and you watch it from episode 1 all the way through season 3, the last episode, you will see a definite progression in how we do things and how we told stories and how things came to be. It's funny, Jace kind of started off hot
and their opponents
back in the day.
Combined weight of 489 pounds, the Ascension.
But then he hit this really rough patch, and I think this is what gets him out of it. Brand new look, teaming up with Father Time. You could tell Jace is excited about it. But these two guys, I paired them up one time, and every time, they did amazing. So now, obviously outweighted by like 200, 300 pounds, but it's funny, the pants that's on Brutus, I've wanted to put on somebody for a long time, but it's never got put on anybody. So you kind of see, when you look at somebody that is this big, these guys are like 380 and 390, right? 370 or something. 390. When you look at guys that are that big, you can see where Jace is trying to grab them, they just push them off. They just push them off. They just push them off. You got to wear them down. Which, how do you wear them down, right? But with them, it's probably like a lot of strikes and stuff like that that you would have to do. Look at these. Look at these two guys. What? I love that. Now watch the referee. He'll start to count. He started to count him out, and he'll disqualify you quick. 1, 2, 3, and I think on 4 you get disqualified. Yeah, probably not the time to be cheering. Like, once you start getting the upper hand, hey, what's going on again? I know. I'm excited. We're going to see a lot more 3- and 4-man, like, sided tag matches going against, where factions are going against factions, too. So it's going to be fun. We got a lot of matches set up. I've tested those out. Those work really well. Each one of our shows is probably going to run right between like an hour and a half to 2 hours, which is good. It's always like the goal. And we'll get the pacing of these matches even a little bit more. This is exactly like how you would almost expect this match to go, right? This Father Time totally does it. See, smart tag at the right time. When Jace was in there at first, could not make any inroads. Father Time gets in, kind of turns the tide. They get it back, and then a key tag in a key moment turns the momentum around again. Now where I was like, no way these guys can win like the way they're going. It's not going to work. They're getting there. Now, can they get in a double team? No. Good look. Oh, helps them out. Look, hits him, but he doesn't go down. So Walter, who's starting to go down now, is because of these things. Now there's only so many moves as a smaller wrestler that you can do. Look, not all the time. They'll do a couple things, but if you don't make it out, they're going to grab you, which is different from 22, from 20, and from 19. Oh, the Jace of Spades. That might do it. Yeah, that you drop a dude on his head like that, 300-something pounds come down top of his head.
Here are your winners.
Be awake.
The Ascension.
Now, had he been able to get in Brutus, I don't think these guys win. But because they end up stopping, but look at this is brand new. And look, it matches their entrance. It'll match most of their entrances. Their victory motions. So right on the old scud. Yeah, can't forget about Rabo for sure. I'm excited for the next SmackDown. Eagle might be getting his first world title shot.
The following is a tag team match set for one fall. On the way to the ring, at a combined weight of 483 pounds, the Brain Busters.
The Brain Busters, I love it. So this one, like you've got Pony, a little bit smaller wrestler, right? But a high flyer, and then you got Paul the Thing. Lose your power. So this is like an interesting combination. I like Pony's new look. Like he really benefited from like the new hair.
And their opponents at a combined weight of 476 pounds, the Blue Bloods.
I've seen a lot of Glaciers done over the years. Like Glacier wasn't that great of a wrestler, right? The idea was amazing. They wasted so much money on his promotions. But this is the best looking Glacier I have ever seen. So I had to download it. And who knows if he stays around all season. But he's here now. I figured with the Sub-Zero and the Glacier, like that's obvious tag team partners. They even got the eye right. Yeah, you know, when you see the different things that these guys can do now, and we're really taking everything we've learned over the past 3 to 4 years. I'm excited. I'm super excited about this. Like the game is almost starting to match what our brains can do. You know what I mean? Like your guys is in the community. Like everybody's like, oh, you did a great job on digital. Digital said something, and I can't remember exactly what it was, but he had said something in a thing, and I was like, let me go see. So almost everything we do is pretty collaborative, even though you guys give me a lot of ideas. I don't know if I've ever even told you guys how this whole thing started. Now, if you go back when I was like a little kid, I used to do this anyway. You couldn't turn off the announcers, right? So I couldn't announce. I didn't do that. But in my head, I was always announcing. But I went back and I would stat, just like I'm doing with it now. I stat wins and losses. And I would pit the computer against each other and have them wrestle. So that's what I did as a kid many, many, many moons ago, right? 20, 30, yeah, a long time ago. We'll just say a long time ago. And then it was Christmas about 4 years ago. 4 or 5 years ago even. And all of a sudden I just got this thing in my head where I'm like, I miss doing that. But I hadn't watched wrestling in a long time, so I was like, I wonder what you could do, and I wonder if the way games are now. And so I started looking on YouTube, and I started seeing the WWE 2K19, 2K20, which is coming out. Didn't read about how big of a mess that was, but so yeah, 4 years ago. Anyway. And I start going through and I start making rosters and I start just thinking of this and thinking of that. And then I was like, you know, there's actually some really cool names in the TSW community. Like, maybe we can make characters out of them. It'd be cool to see like a GC Rock wrestle a Recon Delta or, you know. And so that kind of started. And then it's still on my channel. No, I might have deleted them now. I don't know. But the first 3 ones that I did weren't that good, but they had a lot of copyright. Look at that movie. They had a lot of copyrighted material in them, so that's why I might have deleted them. But started doing that. Then G saw it, and he was like, man, I wanted it on the TSW channel. I started putting it on the TSW channel, but I stat everything. So I started statting the videos in TSW and found out that we lost during that time 11 subscribers on that channel during those shows. Even though most people loved it and like the numbers were up on it and everything was good, still lost 11 subscribers. And at the end of the day, that means something, right? Because I don't think that was the right place or the right like channel to have it on. Moved it here, and all of a sudden I start gaining subscribers. Because people are expecting to see that content here. On the TSW channel, they're expecting to see the division. They're expecting to see raid runs. You know what I mean? So that's why it ends up getting moved over here. And then you can just watch from season 1 to 2 to 3. Like I've moved season 1 from that channel over to this channel in a flashback series because we started season 2 live here. And then we got season 3 now. Of course, you know, we're in season 4 right now. Look at Pony bleeding. But yeah, that's how we got here. It's the evolution. Now see right here, you would want to see him throw him into the corner. Well, like this. And double team. See what this is. Oh! Nope, that's not their finisher. It was close. It would have had to been followed up by something. But every one of these teams has tag finishers. Like the individual wrestlers have their own finisher. It's like, I'm pretty sure that's Paul's finisher right there. Yep. haven't got to see a tag finish
the
in here yet.
Brain Busters.
See, these victory motions fit the teams way better now, and none of them are the same. At least with the created teams, I should preface that. So I think we only have two. No, we have three with the mixed. Nice. That's good, JP. It's good to hear. Yeah, I'm sitting there yesterday on like the 7th, 8th hour of doing the tag team stuff, and I'm like, you think about it, and you just go over the last. How many times are we going to watch all the tag teams wrestle?
The following contest is a tag team match set
And I've
for
spent,
one fall. On the way to the ring,
if you add in the tag team, and I'm not even all done with it yet, but we're to a point where I think it's really good, really, really good.
Alpha.
Now it's just like tweaky type things, but how many times are we going to see this thing? But it's like my brain drives me to do this because I'm like, this will make it better. It'll be a better product, you know what I mean? Like it'll be more immersive, so yeah, it's crazy, and I hope we should be able to start it today. I just gotta check and see what my wife's schedule is. Because our next episode is we did Friday Night SmackDown, so it's Monday Night Raw and then Wednesday Night Stampede, and hopefully we can do both of them this week.
And their opponents, at a combined weight of 545 pounds, the Maniacs.
Oh, Tekrin looks different too. I should have had her come out with the Maniacs. That'd be an interesting thing too. Like the Maniacs have gone through not many different versions, but they started out with another guy who's not currently in the game. And SC Jumpman, and then added Tekrin, and then added Milkman. But like these are two people, while they can tag, I don't think that's what we're gonna do. They are one of the better tag teams that have ever been in our wrestling universe, right? But I think they're gonna remain in the Maniacs, but I think they're gonna start going after individual titles. I really think Milk or SC Jumpman could have shots at the world titles, kind of like Digital. It's the same thing with American Alpha. Like they've been pretty much tag team focused. They've won a couple individual accolades, right? The individual title belts. But we'll see how it goes. I think maybe they transition over into some more like singles type action too. Maybe remain American Alpha, maybe they don't. Who knows? There's all kinds of neat things and neat storylines. And this is why I would like the three different brands, because now I think everybody's going to have more opportunities. It'll take longer for every storyline to develop, right? Because 3 brands, 3 shows, that means like for every show to develop 1, 4, 7, 10. Like it takes a little longer for them to develop the storylines because now there's so many storylines that can be going on. You know what I mean? And then something we're going to do, and I'm glad we took this long. I was getting a little irritated that it took this long, but it did finally come up. I needed time to sort this out we have Triple Crown titles. How should those really work? I don't like it if, let's say, Totes won the Universal World Championship. Then technically I should appear on every show. Except we have 4 single Universal titles and 2 teams, right? 4 tag team titles. That's 8 people now that appear on every single show that are now taking it up possibly 6 matches in a show. You know what I mean? So here's what we're gonna do. On the Universal and the Triple Crown titles, they will be defended on any show at any time, any whatever, but in this way. So let's say Digital is the Universal World Champion. He's on the Stampede brand. Stampede will now hold the Universal World title. It will only be defended at that time on the Stampede brand until the next pay-per-view. At the next pay-per-view, 2 representatives, at least, 1 from each show, SmackDown, Raw, and then Digital's on Stampede, at least 3, maybe a 4th one, who knows, will go in and wrestle again for the Universal title belt at every single pay-per-view. So you already know that the tag teams will have to be defended, and then whatever show they go to, they'll be defended. That show will have those titles. So if it's the Triple Crown Hardcore, Light Heavyweight, whatever it is, those things will be defended on those shows. That title holder will hold them and defend it on his shows. So you won't have Digital on all 3 shows. Digital's on Stampede, and then the pay-per-views that we have, those titles will be defended. And those pay-per-views, which makes the pay-per-views even bigger, now that's the place where those title belts can change hands and go to different shows. So then what's the best show? Well, every pay-per-view they're going to get, every show is going to get, every brand is going to get their chance to prove, yeah, we brought home the most titles in that pay-per-view. Maybe Stampede wins, Royal Rumble's probably a bad example, but wins Hell in the Cell if we're doing that. Bash at the Beach, they're the big winners. And now they're defending multiple title belts on their brands. You know? That doesn't mean those belts get defended every single week either, right? But that's where the champions will be. That's who's got the bragging rights. Ooh, that is his finishing move. Can Grady pull it off? So that's why, yeah, so it could be overwhelming. But that's why, like, I actually write it down. I write the different things down. You'll see, I'll go back and I rewatch these shows. Because I want to hear what it sounded like. I want to see what it looked like. Because I miss things in the show, especially when you have this stuff going on and I get into this diatribe. I've missed half of this match. But I write it down and I try to take notes. So like, because I've missed some things where we missed some storylines where somebody grabbed a rope and I mentioned it at the time, but then by the time it came around again, I didn't see it. So what I've started doing is taking notes for the show. So if something very particular happens or I'm like, hey, we're going to see this match, I write it down. So when I go in to make the next show, I go in, I make it. If it's some match types we haven't seen, oh, here we go. If it's some match types that we haven't seen, then I'll test them out. But yeah, now I have the notes to try to keep me straight. I have our title history, so yeah. But yeah, sometimes it does for all the things I want to do, because I want to make sure everything we do, but I haven't even done it on the last one, but making chapters. So if you wanted to go back and watch your match, you would be able to go in and then look at the bottom and see the chapter and see, oh, Digital versus JP, there it is, and then just fast forward to that one match and watch your match as many times as you want to watch it. But sometimes, because I do still have a full-time job, like it's a full-time job, and sometimes I don't have time to do every single thing I want to do. And it's funny, the thing I'm most overwhelmed with isn't this. It's not even producing the content. The thing I get most overwhelmed with, I really want Discord to be better. You know what I mean? But I don't understand Discord enough to make it better. So that's kind of the thing. That's why you don't see me put a lot of effort into Discord, because we've got this going on and all the other stuff. But I have to focus on what I have to focus on, and I just can't focus on Discord. I didn't want Discord to be only a place where I'm like at everybody, and it was funny listening to G talk about that, because I'm like, yeah, I didn't want it to be that, but it's kind of that. It's kind of a way to make sure. Ooh, yeah, is that his? I think that's it. Nope, finishing one. I didn't want it to be only that. I wanted it to be a place where if you played the game, you could upload pictures to your CAW. We could talk wrestling. We could talk about the universe. We could discuss the ideas. If you guys have ideas, and know what to put them there. But I don't know that I've got it all set up the way it's supposed to be set up to do the things I would want it to do anyway. I don't want it to be overly complicated, like, either. I've always pictured Discord just kind of as a place you'd be able to hang out. Like when we're not in the game, you'd be able to reach out and say, hey, there's a communication device. Like, man, I was sitting at work thinking about this thing. Like, what if, even if it's not you, right? You're like, man, what if American Alpha took on these guys? You know, this was their beef. And, you know, whatever the storylines are. I got notebooks full of storylines. Still waiting to be realized, all the way from season 1. It's kind of funny. I need to consolidate them a little bit better. See right there, Grady should have, and like, oh, what? I've never seen that reversal before. But yeah. Hey, morning, Witcher, welcome to the stream. How you doing? Yeah, no, that's another big thing. Like, you know, it would be easy to, oh, we have to see Totes all the time. You notice there's some shows Totes not even on. And it's because the way the game plays out, right? Because I have these storylines written down. There's things I want to see. And I'll be honest, you would think that right now, Totes joining the Horsemen would be the biggest storyline. I don't think it is. I don't even think it's the biggest storyline inside the Horsemen. I think the fact that Totes, Bravo, and Rowdy have all won the world title and defended it 6 times. Eagle, I think, is the biggest storyline. Can Eagle win a world title? Can Eagle have an epic run that maybe beats all of them? You know what I mean? Can the Horsemen as a whole hold all the belts? Or can the NWO? Or can American Alpha hold like multiple titles? Will the Maniacs step up and be holding title belts all over the place? Like, I think there's other things, and I think that having those faction wars, and then what happens, because we haven't really explored things like, what if, look at these guys. Oh my God, what a great save. So Milk couldn't jump in. Brady would have made it, and he grabbed him and threw him. Now, you hate to see it end that way, right? But wrestling matches do end that way sometimes, so I have no problem with that. All right, one more, and then we have the mixed tag team. And we might see more mixed tag teams. I don't know. Like, when you see the match and see how it works, and if they had intergender, like, tag team belts, that's why, like, you can download intergender wrestlers, but they're so glitchy, and we can't afford to have glitches in our universe, right? So I downloaded it. I tested the wrestler out, and it was a Rhea Ripley where she could wrestle against guys, but it was so glitchy. I immediately just I got rid of it. I didn't even finish watching the match because I think it'd be a very cool storyline if like a Rhea Ripley teamed up with a China. They weren't exactly a tag team, right? But they teamed up together to try to take on the men's tag team division. That'd be cool. Back in the day, China was the one wrestler who wrestled against men.
Is a tag team match set for one fall. On the way to the ring, the Thrill Seekers.
I love the attitude of this entrance. They're all like nonchalant about it till they get in the ring because these are two of the toughest competitors there are. So then you put this entrance on them, and I think it just kind of makes it funny. They're like, okay. They're more concerned about like getting down to the ring and doing than they are about who's coming out to the ring to fight them, right? Kind of funny. Now what'll be interesting is we just watched these guys win the tag titles. Are they now going to come out with the tag titles around their waist? They should. But they won it in the show. I wonder how the game handles this. And you normally wouldn't want to do this because they are, yeah? But they are still beaten up. Like their health does still go down. Let's look at. I don't know that we watched
and their opponents, the
maybe
Stampede
we do. I want to see how their
tag team champions.
Their jackets seem to be interacting with those title belts really, really well. I don't see. There's a little cutting right there, just that little corner. But for the most part, there's no real dive. Wow, they did a lot better than I thought they would do. It looks like Buenos Dias, Brujo. I can't roll things. Brujo. Yeah, no, for sure. So so I think there's like, we haven't even seen the potential of Legacy yet. You know what I mean? Oh, here we go. Here we go. Look at this. What are you doing? Oh, that's another way. Remember the last one was a suplex type maneuver? That was completely different. Yeah, no, for sure. That's another thing, like more interesting than I think than. There's a big storyline though that we'll focus on some things, but does Angela end up joining the Horsemen? Like Eagle is in the Horsemen, does Angela join the Horsemen? They're down one horsewoman, so she landed on her feet. That's the first time I've seen that. Like missed and then landed on her feet. So when you have two wrestlers, like when you have like this tag team wrestling on the same night at the same time, they could injure themselves. And then the injury does affect their performance while they're injured. So do we start seeing GMs for the brands? Like technically we don't see any GMs. Right now we just assume it's Stephanie McMahon, right? Because so far this year, if you remember, we haven't made Penny, so we haven't seen Penny return. We know Penny's behind the scenes. We now see Lady Rock, but does Penny return? Maybe Penny and Lady Rock can become the tag team. Who knows? And Phoenix is on another level. So if you remember in the last match, Miss Cross whipped somebody into the ropes and then missed the timing on it, right? They both hit. This time, she whips her into the ropes, ducks underneath her, gets her timing back down, and then hits it. See, I can handle that. So we've seen one double team move, now we've seen another. Most tag teams can have up to about 8 double team moves, 4 per wrestler. So when she whips them in and does the thing, it'll be Miss Scorpion's 4 that gets pulled from. When Miss Cross does it, it'll be the 4 that she has. So having them different is the thing I've been working on. Yeah. It's funny though. It is hilarious. Witcher's like, hey, let me out of my thing. Digital says the same thing. They both want to be singles. And now in the same stream, they both said, hey, you know, maybe some tag team stuff. Now, to be a mixed tag, doesn't really require anything. The thing I'm going to be interested to see is in this mixed tag, because you can't create mixed tag teams. This should be very interesting. But I wonder if in this mixed tag they'll come out together, or if all parties are going to come out separate. So this very next match, we're going to see how it works. To see if maybe we've never created mixed tag teams, but maybe Angel and Isabella, we can't create because they're 4 horsemen, so we can't exactly create JP or Eagle and Angela. But Digital and Witcher, maybe that's a thing. You know what I mean? You're wondering what that 1 count is. It was for Miss Cross to get out of the ring. Oh, this is Phoenix's finishing. these guys are pretty evenly matched. I mean, this has been a pretty good match. But then remember, technically, they have had. See, I don't like that. So Phoenix and Mimi, I've got to put. I must not have done their tag moves. Nobody will have that tag move unless you're not in a tag team. But if you're in a tag team, you should have better moves than jumping and double axe handle a forearm. Come on. Oh, flatten mohawk right there. Yeah, no, me too. I like, it'll hit me sometimes during the day, and I'll have to stop what I'm doing, get my notebook out, and I'll start writing different things. It's hard in this because, like, I think I've talked about it a little bit before, but, like, I write long-term stories. Like, if it's for a singles wrestler, like, maybe a wrestler... Let's say, like, JP's a good example. JP hasn't been in our universe, ever. So, JP starts out, and maybe he's managing, or maybe something happens, or maybe he gets a shot at the light heavyweight title, and so then, he gets challenged by somebody, and he goes, well, I'll fight you, but only if the light heavyweight title's on the line, so he does that. But maybe the long-term goal is to win a world title, right? Not everybody's long-term goal is to win the world title right now. I'm sure they're little digital hearts right now, like they're little, all their pixels, every one of their pixels want to win the world title, but it's not always the long-term goal, at least for this season or for 2 seasons from now or whatever. But maybe that is like, so JP, long-term goal, win world title, right? But he goes on quite the losing streak. I can't change that because I don't control the wrestlers, you know what I mean? So that might not happen for a long, it might never happen. That's what I like that move. That's not a finisher, but that is the setup for finisher, I believe. So, but you have to go through those things. So, okay, won the light heavyweight. There's got to be a natural progression. It's not just, oh, I put you in a world heavyweight title. Here we go, finishing it. Oh, no. Turns it around. That's Scorpion trying to set up Kirkham. Like, I want to see. I haven't got to see. Oh. Well, crap. That wasn't supposed to be. Look at this. Underhanded. Please win. Look at Phoenix. Phoenix is like, are you kidding me right now? Now, here's her finishing move. Rise from the ashes. I also like that. If you notice that move, she did the thing, she whipped herself in the rope. She is not set up right to get the move. And then comes back and it corrects itself. Owie. Never seen that move off the side. Look, okay, so she's trying to get herself lined up, but she isn't. See, you can see how far off she was. You see, this is why you can only have so many tag team matches, because like these tag team matches, we've done 5 and they've been going on for just over an hour now. But it's kind of good. Now I've got something where we can kind of judge the time off of. We can kind of judge what's going on, because I haven't done too many things. And I like how the other tag team partner doesn't always get involved, right? But look, she got involved just enough. There's the bark strike. See, it's right about the 6 mark where they should be getting back in this ring. Like it should start to become a concern. Look, she's moving a lot slower. Phoenix took a chance right there. So Legacy might be tough, you know what I mean? Maybe Legacy's ready to stand up, stand out. Mr. Krabs, that's funny. Yeah, right? What you like? I know. That's interesting. She's like, moving too far away. I would like to see one of them put the tag team finisher on somebody. Now look, you can look at the skin of Miss Frost starting to really, really sweat a lot. You can see it. Maybe not. This Scorpion is. It's hard to tell on Phoenix. There it is, the Mia Moore. Love it. I'm playing a lot of Battlefield. I almost did a Battlefield stream yesterday, so I'm trying to finish out the Battle Pass. Reward track. I'm not level 100 yet. I'm up to like 78. I was going to show some people some tricks just to unlock things. I didn't think it'd be that much fun, but it's really good practice. Trying to see if Phoenix has got a bunch of sweat coming off her as well. Phoenix, her skin type with the sweat texture, like it's hard to see it. It's easy to see it on Miss Frost, Mimi, It's a little bit harder to see it on the Scorpion, but you can still tell. Oh, I didn't see that coming. Yeah, this Scorpion's sweating quite a bit. This Scorpion is just torn with what she should be doing. Okay, you can kind of see it. It's hard to see it, but yeah, Mimi is sweating a bunch too. Or Phoenix is sweating a bunch too now. Mimi is also now. She wasn't so much before, but she is now. God, that would hurt. Now put her in the corner and do the tag team finishing move. Is she listening to me? Oh, come on. Be the tag team finisher. I don't think it is. No, that's not it. Look at Mimi. I was going to say, she doesn't go flying after that business. I've enjoyed this stream. Like, we got to finally do the testing of the stuff. This is like, I didn't get to test it yesterday, so this is like getting to see it all like come to fruition. Now, the only thing I would add in if I was them is the wrestler on the side should be able to defend themselves a little bit better than they do right now. So we know that's her finisher. That might do it. Like, we're late in this match. I was hoping Mimi and Phoenix would win so it would zoom in a little bit better on Phoenix. But look at the sweat. Yeah. That is a nice... It's a way better touch. Like, you can see, I like the fact that they start moving slower, that they start perspiring more. So here's what a mixed tag team match looks like. Yeah, no, I really enjoy Battlefield now. It's very enjoyable. No, that's the same with me. Like, I play also. It's starting to warm back up, and now this is where I put on a lot of backyard concerts. Love to play and sing. He's still doing the waving thing. I thought I fixed that. Huh. There's a couple things I gotta fix still.
Scheduled for one fall. Introducing first, from San Juan, Puerto Rico, weighing in at 239 pounds.
That is so weird. I swear I must have dreamt it. You guys want to hear a weird one? I dreamt that I had a short that had 1.8 million views. considering we've never had more than 3,300 views on a video. That was quite a stretch. I don't know. It was the weirdest thing. Like I dreamed, like I woke up and I looked at my phone. I was like, whoa, 1.8 million views. Then I woke up again and I did not have 1.8 million views on anything.
From Havana, Cuba, the Latina sensation, Isabella Ramon Gutierrez.
Now, it's been a minute since I've seen Isabella's entrance, but that is quite the name. I don't know why I expected any less than that.
And from Virginia, weighing in at 308 pounds, the Blueprint, Sam Trowell.
Sentinel's mask. I love the mask. That is so freaky. Freaky mask. I mean, how else do you say that? Oh yeah, I mean maybe it happened. Maybe it never does. Like who knows? I'm still fine with it either way. You guys wait till you start hearing some of the... So you're going to start seeing more unique commentary that we find, especially once we start going.
And his partner from Virginia, the irresistible force, Rebecca Dawn.
Especially once we get going, like some of the stuff in the moment, like I could never like just make it up, but some of the stuff that we say in the moment, now that I've gone back and watched some of it, I'm like, oh my gosh, that is hilarious. So this is the interesting part about like the mixed gender stuff. Angel and Sentinel will fight, and if one of them tags out, it automatically tags in their partner. So that's kind of like the interesting thing. The other thing is you won't see the guy go over and attack the girl in the corner. I think you'll see the girl go attack the guys in the corner though. It's funny, this is the other one, like, do you see Sentinel or Angel, you know, do they make it up? See, right when he tagged her in, automatically Angela comes in. The other interesting thing, and I haven't noticed this before, even if it was an all-guys match, there is a girl referee, right? You know, the one thing I wish you could do in the arenas or for the shows is I wish per match you could assign random referees. Like you could say, hey, this is the referee, we want the whole thing. Or assign a random referee like they do in typical matches. Like most of the time it's not the same referee in every single match. You have like 3 or 4 different referees and they rotate the matches, right? I wish you could see that. But you won't see the guys jump in to break up a tag in the same way. What they'll do is run over to the referee and distract the referee. They'll be like, hey! And the referee will stop counting. The girls will come in and, you know, like jump and try to break up the match. So if you look at both of the skins of the women and on the guys, there's not a lot of sweat. A little bit, right? But there's not a lot. But as they expend more energy, you'll see it. So that's one of the main reasons. I mean, there is no title to it. There's no titles to the intergender matches. There's no way to assign intergender titles. And that's why we don't see more intergender titles, because part of it, like some of it is interesting, you know what I mean? But most of it, it's basically like 2 one-on-one matches. Oh, Angel went to tag in. Now see, you'll see her grab him and throw him back in. But you'll never see the guy run over and grab the girl and throw the girl back in. So yeah, it's just not the same type of strategies that are being used. The pyro in the corners is the Ultimate Warrior. And then when you set that pyro, you have to set it like 3 clicks early, because it'll go off without going off. You won't see it go off. So like 3 clicks from when you want it to actually go off. Yeah, what's funny, to make some of these masks though, you have to download images. The way I learned how to do masks too is there was a guy who did a Recon Delta. If you look at the original Recon Delta, I didn't do that. But what I did do before that year was up is I went and I deconstructed Recon's mask to see how he did it, to try to learn. And then that's how I really started learning some things about masks. And that's what you want to do. Like, you can deconstruct all the characters, just don't save it. Like, if you don't like what happened, the changes you made, just circle, circle, circle back out of it. You don't have to save it. You know what I mean? Look at the big guy get up. And see, that's the other, like, small issue I see with, like, the intergender matches. Rebecca goes to tag in Sentinel, but before she can even get the full tag in, Angel's coming in and is halfway across the ring by the time Sentinel even gets in the ring. See, right here, look. Isabella's already in the ring halfway before Rebecca's even in the ring. And so it's like whoever tags in is immediately at the disadvantage. There's no double team moves. Oh, pinner. Okay. Sentinel didn't jump in. I was hoping he would jump in. was hoping Angel would jump in just so you could see it when a female's pinning, what it looks like when the male comes in to break it up. See Sentinel starting to sweat a lot more. Isabella, you can see it a little bit on her back. Now you can see both of them perspiring a lot more. That's some power. Looks like I got her reps in the gym today. I think that is Sentinel's finishing move. If not, it sets up his finishing move. It's a signature move. Oh, no. That's his finisher. So that's interesting. Like this time, neither one of them jumped in. I've never seen neither one of them, even in the mixed gender. But this is the first mixed gender we've seen in this game. So, yeah, so that's kind of what those look like. So that is just on another level. I want to show you guys what because it's hard to see in the picture, right? Or even when he walks to the ring, but let's show you Digital's chest. It says, God will judge our enemies. We'll arrange the meeting. This is too, like if you look at so you see that lone soldier, that's what the whole image looks like, but I didn't want to use the whole image, so I put it in places where it would cut it off. So there's ways like to use the different images, right? God, there's another person. Who is it? SC Jumpman. It just, I don't, this is the stuff I see that, this is why we test things out, right? That shirt bothers the crap out of me. I love it, and I don't like it at all. Because of one thing. In order to read the Jumpman, it's got to be there, right? But that's not how most things will be that way if you have another thing going on. But we're missing the other thing. That's got to be there. And not that color, but I don't know where it's at. So what I did is I put that one on. Oh, that got me. what? I wonder. Hold on. That's because we can. That's just crazy enough to work. Oh, we can, and we're going to put something on the back as well, but that's interesting. I do feel way better about the shirt now, though. But yeah, see, on the back, though, you would want something more like. How many of you guys get this reference? ESPN 8, the Ocho. That's not a real TV. That's not a real TV station. That's on Dodgeball. But it's crazy. I think the Maniacs should be sponsored by the Ocho. I gotta find the right person. We'll see what the. Hold on, we just gotta see first. Attire. No, doesn't fit. Ooh, this might work. No, it's not gonna work. No. Kedri, that's another one. I'm excited to see what happens with Kedri. I'm really digging his character this year. Yeah, no, that would be super cool, and I've thought about doing that. What I really want to do, and again, I'm just waiting on the computer. I'm trying to figure out why it's not here yet. Um, maybe here. Uh, but I wanna do some other things. Let's do this. Upper body. This next image is it. I was gonna put this on totes. I say this all the time, but it doesn't work with my outfit. Hell yeah. Yeah, I like it. This is the stuff, though, man. This is like you'll see as the seasons go on. We haven't even started the season, and I've changed wrestlers. I'm gonna show you guys one more wrestler before we get out of here. Talk about some detail. You guys remember Tekrin? She had no face paint before this. None. So two things. Now she has 3 different kinds of face paint on. And for her entrance attire, I did this in the last one, but I didn't do it in this one. Look at this. When she comes out, she has the eye patch on. But it looks like it's a part of the mask. The other thing I almost did, came really close. So if you go to head, oh, the other thing I did is I added the tattoos. So the tattoos now only on the left side or right side, but left side as we look at her of her body. The other side's clean. Face was clean before all the face paint. There used to be no face paint on here. But the one thing I thought about doing, I've done this with other wrestlers where they come out with a different hairstyle. That's funny. That's the first time I've seen that hairstyle where I'm like, oh, that could actually work. But I'll do stuff like this, and then I always wonder, like, are people going to notice? Like she comes out a certain way, but in the ring when she wrestles, it's completely different. Yeah, it's funny. You can actually go back and see the original. So yeah, look, there's all kinds of things we can do with her. Yeah. Anyway, guys, that is going to do it for today. Hopefully, today, almost for sure tomorrow. Maybe today, but we have to see. But tomorrow, for sure, we will have at least episode 2 or possibly 3 coming. Voice is better, so we will be doing that. Remember, drop a like on the video, subscribe if you're new, turn on the bell notification so you don't miss any time we go live. And we have got 2. Matter of fact, one's coming up in 20 minutes, and it's extremely important. You guys jump on immediately when you see it. It drops in 20 minutes every day. 8:30 my time, 9:30 Eastern. The first short will come out, and then again at 4 o'clock Central, 5 o'clock Eastern time, the next one. And we've got that scheduled all the way through Sunday right now. I'm already working on Monday, next week's content, but 2 a day on the shorts. Really helpful when you share, and like and share those videos and watch those videos in their entirety. One will be about a minute long because it'll be an entrance, the first one of the day. Phoenix coming up today. And then one will be either commentary or revealing a title belt. So that's cool. Let me just look real quick so you guys know what it is. Yeah, Universal Tag Team Championship. The men's will be reimagined. So that'll be what comes up this afternoon. Those are like 15 seconds. Those tend to do really well. But we tried the one a day thing, didn't work. We tried a new time slot, didn't work. These are our 2 original time slots. So we'll do 2 a day for the foreseeable future. But anyway, guys, appreciate everything you guys are doing. And, nice Witcher. And we'll catch all of you, brothers and sisters, in the next one. Peace.